Good evening to you and welcome to this week's penultimate Primetime News edition. I'm Michael Madimba. Many thanks for tuning in. It's always a pleasure having you. The extractive sector headlines tonight's bulletin. Reconnaissance Energy Africa received an environmental clearance certificate to drill 12 new wells in the Kavango Basin. Primetime News had an exclusive interview with Director of Communication and Stakeholder Relations, Daposhali Shapwanalo, earlier today. Let's now delve into the significance of this development.
Okay, the environmental clearance certificate is valid until the 4th of July. This is in 2026. So we have it until the 2026 to drill the 12 exploratory and appraisal wells. Yeah, I think it's important to mention that since the activities took place, Recon Africa, from just an ESG perspective, we always had the approach of we are not Kavango specific, but we are Kavango first. So we were very pleased that through our activities we were able to create employment. We were able to have again our water well program, and that was to make sure that the communities have safe and secure access to water, especially the communities who live along the river, who as we know, the human-wildlife conflict is not something that is unknown in the area. So we are very pleased that we could work together with the Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform to sort of help government in combating this and also help the communities in combating this. Other than that, I think we're also pleased that through our activities in the past 2 years, we were able to, in addition to our support to the Petro Fund, we were able to send 10 students, 5 from Kavango East, 5 from Kavango West, to study in the STEAM fields. They are faring very well. And on top of that, we were also very pleased to have been able to support 7 nursing students from the San communities who are considered the marginalized in the area.
Moving on. The United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, says it has not pursued the Minister of Higher Education, Training and Innovation, Ita Kanji Murangi, regarding any reimbursement of the daily subsistence allowance. Shelverwell's further story.
This comes after affirmative repositioning leader Job Amupanda earlier this week accused the Minister of improperly profiting from 3 state institutions within the Ministry of Higher Education, Training and Innovation. According to various reports, Amupanda accused the Ministry of unduly gaining about 1.5 million Namibian dollars in travel expenses from 3 state institutions under the Ministry of Higher Education, Training and Innovation. The institutions are the Namibia Training Authority, Namibia University of Science and Technology, and the University of Namibia. Amupanda further alleged that the minister claimed money from UNESCO. The Namibia National Commission for UNESCO is established by the government of Namibia. It is a national entity which operates under national regulations and is located at the Government Office Park in Windhoek, it stated.
Switching attention on to health matters. Executive Director in the Ministry of Health and Social Services, Ben Nangombe, has urged pregnant women to seek health services during their pregnancies in order to ensure healthy births. Isabel Bento compiled this report.
Nangombe, who was speaking at the handover of the emergency maternity shelter at the Oshimbingwe Clinic on Tuesday, noted that a delay in seeking medical assistance is a major contributing factor to most maternal deaths. The facility was donated by Lebediko Chemicals Namibia, a lithium processing company based in Karibeb. Nangombe noted that the Oshimbingwe Clinic is the second busiest in the area, therefore the facility will go a long way in contributing significantly to the reduction of maternal and neonatal morbidity and mortality in the area and country at large. He further expressed gratitude towards Lebediko Chemicals Namibia for partnering with the ministry in ensuring the community is supported through the best health services. The 700 Namibian dollars facility contains a delivery bed with an examination lamp, 2 patient monitoring beds, a sluice and a toilet as well as a wheelchair. It is connected to the clinic building to facilitate easy movement of staff and supplies. Erongo Governor Neville Andre Itope at the same event stressed that the initiative will go a long way to support the achievement of the Millennium Development Goals 4 and 5 and inspired other stakeholders and private companies to do the same in their communities. Reporting for Primetime News, Diana Kauta.
On to matters pertaining to the media. Minister of Information and Communication Technology Dr. Pheya Moshelenga on Wednesday noted government remains committed to upholding media freedom, protecting journalists' rights and ensuring their safety. Maggie Thomas for this insert.
For the past 33 years, Pheya Moshelenga said the government has made sure that journalists can work without fear or intimidation, for it is through the editors' work that their voices are amplified. Moshelenga was speaking at a breakfast meeting with the country's editors and senior journalists in the capital to symbolize the crucial partnership between government and the media, built on transparency, responsibility, and shared commitment to serving the public interest. Last year, the ministry enacted the Access to Information Act to give impetus to the work of journalists. This piece of legislation, according to the minister, enables everyone, including the media, to access information from any institution, private or public. Reiterating the importance of responsible journalism in a rapidly evolving world, Moshelenga said media houses are not just news purveyors, but are also custodians of truth. The minister underscored the need of a sense of responsibility, accountability, and distinction in the course of informing the public, noting that this builds confidence among recipients of information. Reporting for Primetime News, Ishmael Mukuvonda.
Stay tuned for the business segment. Welcome to the Primetime Biz Slot, the segment bringing all things business, economics and development to the fore. The segment kickstarts in the capital, where the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology is hosting the National Youth Climate Change Summit, concluding tomorrow under the theme Empowering Youth for Climate Action. Now, Nico Ndana, one of the presenters at the summit, underscored the importance of agriculture and food security, stating that there is a lack of local sustainable agricultural knowledge in agricultural practices. He added that there is a deficiency of agricultural technologies, particularly in the northern communal areas, which fall way behind in comparison to European areas. Ndana further encouraged the country to utilize social media for maximum benefit and the sphere of agriculture. Let's listen in.
There are more than 3,000 Namibians today who are starving, mostly in the northern communal areas. And this is not because we are lazy or because we cannot practice agriculture. And there are other reasons why these things are happening. But the Namibian community, we are starving. And there is an issue of food security. So that's why I'm here to present to you the matter of agriculture and food security. The fact that us as researchers, us as agriculturalists, we need to perform a bottom-up approach and there is a realization that there is a lack of knowledge of agriculture practices. There is limited access to organic inputs like seeds. There is a deficiency of agricultural technologies. Namibia, the Northern Communal Area, is far behind than our brothers and sisters in the European areas. And there is also poor crop diversification. We need to open up to new breeds, new species of crops that will sustain us, even on a nutritional level. We need to innovate ways of sharing information. We are living in a generation that uses social media. Let's not just use social media for beauty contests. Let's use it for agriculture. Let's change the world. Let's imprint agriculture on social media.
Switching attention to the banking sector. Bank of Namibia Governor Johannes Kawachap says the Namibian financial system remains stable, sound and resilient amid a challenging global and domestic economic environment. The governor further revealed the total banking assets for the banking sector grew by 5.3% to 173.2 billion Namibian dollars in the first quarter of 2023 compared to 17.8% in the last quarter of 2022. More insights from this report compiled by Ishmael Mukubonda.
Kawachap, in a media statement on Tuesday, said the assets for the sector were driven by cash and balances at banks as well as the net loans and advances. He added that the banking sector maintained adequate capital levels to meet the regulatory requirements and absorb potential losses. Contrary to the robust growth of 4.6% observed in 2020, the domestic real gross domestic product growth is projected to moderate to 3% in 2023 and is expected to slow down further to 2.9% in 2024. The increase, he noted, was mainly due to growth observed in long-term insurance and retirement funds subsectors. Retirement funds remain solvent with a funding position at 101.2%, thus remaining above the prudential limit. Reporting for Primetime News, Jaconia Nehemia.
This concludes our talk segment for tonight. Stay tuned for the Econ Roundup, but first, we look at how the weather prospects are shaping up throughout the entire country in the weather forecast. Welcome to Sport Planet, your to-go-to segment for all things sport in action. A titanic battle awaits as two rugby giants clash this weekend. New Zealand have made 5 changes to their powerful starting lineup for Saturday's Rugby Championship showdown with South Africa in Auckland. Speedsters Will Jordan and Mark Telea are named on the wings, with Richie Mo'unga starting at fly half ahead of Damien McKenzie, who drops out of the matchday squad. In the pack, Brody Retallick partners Scott Barrett in the second row, with Corey Taylor named at hooker. The All Blacks host South Africa at Auckland's Mount Smart Stadium, with both teams having recorded emphatic opening round wins on Saturday. On to the game of hoops. NBA star LeBron James ended speculation over his future on Wednesday, saying that he's not yet ready to retire and maintains his love for the game. James responded to his team, the Los Angeles Lakers, losing the Western Conference Final to eventual champions Denver in May, by saying he had a lot to think about amid reports he was considering walking away from the sport. But in a speech at the ESPY Awards ceremony on Wednesday, James settled any fears he may be ready to quit. James said this after receiving the award for Best Record-Breaking Performance for passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as the league's all-time leading scorer. I don't care how many more points I score or what I can or cannot do on the floor. Still thrilled that one of the game's all-time greats is not considering retirement yet. Your sports roundup is up next. On that note, we've reached the conclusion of tonight's Primetime News edition. As always, much appreciated for tuning in. Do subscribe for daily updates and engage with us. Hit the like and share buttons, and don't forget to recommend our channel to family and friends. Catch me tomorrow for the week's last edition. From myself, Michael Madimba, and the entire production crew behind the scenes, it's good night.